As we kind of gently, ever so gently close the door on summer, if the souvenirs from your summer vacation included a sandy bucket full of seashells, you may be wondering exactly what to do with them right now. Well, my first guest this morning says we can keep summer alive with seashell craft projects that will preserve both shells and memories. Creative Contributor Michelle Crowley is here to help us stretch out the last bits of summer with 4 clever ideas for your seashell collection. Emphasis on the S. Seashell collection.
It's hard to say.
It's a tongue twist. So good to see you.
Great to see you.
And I am kind of giggling at the word craft project only because we just returned from Newport. We milked it to the very last day.
So you've got shells.
Before seals. We have shells. Yeah, we have shells. But also what I'm giggling about is these are like, these projects look upscale, boutique, expensive.
That's the idea.
That's the key? I don't know how you've done this, but you've taken seashells and turned them into really cool decor.
It's very fun.
Well done.
It's a great way to be able to use your travel like mementos in a real way, like including them into your home decor.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not just like a little tchotchke on a shelf, but it actually has like meaning and it's pretty.
It fits. It has purpose in your pretty home. I do have shells. I have 4 buckets of shells. How do I prep the shells to pull off these projects? Do I do anything to them?
No, you just wash them.
Wash them up?
Just wash them so they're clean.
Okay.
And dry.
All right.
And then we're ready to roll.
Project number 1. What have you done?
Project number 1. Okay, chargers. So my family kind of makes fun of me because I love chargers.
You're a collector.
I collect them and I like to use them on the table because I like a table that's set, which I think comes from my mom. She made us set the table every day. Like all the things, you know, the placemat, even the silverware you weren't gonna actually eat with, like the full out. And I still fall back on that. I like to do that, but we also host a lot. And so then we're doing buffet. And so I still wanna set a table. So chargers are a great way because then they pick up their table. I mean, they're played at the buffet, but they have a place setting at their table. So I love these.
How did you dress these up?
So this is just a charger. I'm gonna take these off so we can pick it up. I want it to look pretty, but we're gonna just lift it up. I just bought this from a craft store.
Okay.
And glued them on.
Is it melamine? What is it?
It's melamine.
Okay, okay. And then what kind of glue?
Just a glue gun.
Okay.
Hot glue. And really, they didn't need a lot. Like I just put it, you know where the shell is kind of flat on the bottom?
Yeah.
Here, there, and then just there. The hardest part of doing this is just figuring out where you want your shells to go.
Placement.
Placement, which wasn't hard. I just did it every other. So one's up, one's down, all the way around. And then I kind of played with it a bit to get, so I've got purples evenly spaced and kind of the oranges evenly spaced. And then these little doodads here, I just kind of tossed on top.
Now I have to say your shells are very pretty, but even for the more bland or boring of shell, the plate color I imagine would help it pop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't use a neutral color plate because a lot of times you might have neutral color seashells.
This is so fun. Okay, charger, I love it, I love it. What else?
And then, okay, these little seashell trees.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm kind of wishing, like, for Christmas, maybe, but I kind of think maybe all year. First, I was thinking Christmas, and I'm like, I'm putting this up all year long.
I sort of get the rosebud effect, too.
Totally have the rosebud. Kind of a rosebud or a peony. I never know how to say that. Is it peony or peony?
I'll go with you. Whatever.
I don't ever know. So those are fun to do.
How did you do that?
Just, again, foam. So I brought this to show. Just craft store foam tree.
Okay.
And then just glued them on.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you in a few minutes kind of how to create this rose effect.
How to affect the layered and the tier.
The layers, yes.
That's very cool.
This would be super fun, though. I want to go home and do another one that's got colorful, you know, to see how that would play.
Well, I'm thinking something sculptural on a shelf or, you know, built-ins or bookshelves.
Right, exactly. This is a perfect little thing to kind of fill in that space on a bookshelf. And I do like using this. I just wanted to show this. To elevate things, I like things oftentimes elevated so you can create different heights. And this is just a spool of ribbon, like the spool that the ribbon came on.
Of rope,
Took it off, and when you're doing stuff with seashells, I have to say that slowly, I think it's great to incorporate like the burlap and the rope and the kind of the natural beachy kind of stuff
to complement the coastal aesthetic. Okay, this tray is just wicked cool.
This tray is really fun, and it's gonna get even cooler.
Okay, okay.
So this tray looked like this tray.
No, it did not.
This was the tray that it's exact. They were twins.
Okay,
so
we started here.
And then because I like to use my trays I like to change them up. So I don't necessarily want to do something permanent on it. So I didn't want to put the seashells permanently on.
Oh.
And because what I do is I cut out pieces of wallpaper or whatever, and
You're so smart.
line the inside with whatever is going to go with the decor for the party or whatever it is I'm doing.
You're so savvy, okay.
But then I want to put something, I wanted to seashell these, didn't want it to be permanent. So I put it on ribbon, burlap ribbon.
Oh, like a thick burlap.
So it was the same width as the tray. And glued it onto the burlap.
Okay.
So, and then I attached it. Remember the ATG tape? I talk about this, I feel like, every time I'm here.
It's your best friend.
It's my best friend.
Yeah.
And I used that underneath the ribbon just to attach it. So I want to show you, if I can find the end here. I know I had it. So that I had it so that I would be able to,
right here is a seam waiting for us to tug. Oh, yeah.
So I can just pull that off. My tray is perfectly fine. I can save this for next time I want to use it. And then.
Okay, that is mighty clever.
So now this one tray I can use lots of ways.
How are you? I'm seeing some overlap in your seashell placement. Is that just like glue?
This is hot glue, same thing.
Okay, all right.
Just hot glue, and I just
cool.
overlapped. I started, lower, and then just keep building, keep adding until you get tired of it. The other thing I love about using a tray with the seashells is that, again, you can corral some of your other your other things that you brought home from the vacation.
Yeah.
And a tray grounds all of that.
Yes.
Brings it all together.
See, this is something I feel like I would see at a Newport Beach boutique.
You probably would, and you probably pay a lot of money for it.
A lot, yeah.
So.
Okay, here comes, just the crowning masterpiece. Is this a lampshade?
This is a lampshade. Now, this one's gonna be a pendant light. And
you're gonna hang that from the ceiling.
I'm hanging it from the ceiling.
You're amazing.
But I've changed my method a little bit as I went along. So this one is on a glass lampshade.
Okay.
And glued all the seashells on. It's too heavy.
I was gonna say it probably weighs.
It's gonna be okay, but I'm gonna have to really reinforce this in the ceiling. But I wanted to show you the finished.
It's beautiful.
This is where this comes from.
Okay.
On a vacation, on a trip, in this really fabulous beach boutique hotel, I saw lampshades like this. I wanted them. I've wanted them ever since. This was a long time ago.
You're like, covet.
I know, covet. I want those lampshades. I did find some in a boutique that were a fortune.
Ooh, yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So ever since then, I've been wanting to do this, and this was my chance.
How did you do it?
So here I'm gonna show you a halfway finished so that you can see the process.
Okay.
So the shells, and it's just these white ones, which are probably the ones that are easiest to find on the beach.
Agree, yeah.
Because it's just the basic white shells. And I just so what I did, I'm gonna turn back here. I divided my lampshade in half this way. And then I use these little guys here to just help me eyeball like straight down.
Those were your sections?
Those were my sections,
okay.
Right. And then I split it in half again, because what I decided I wanted was, instead of to stack, I made little squares. Instead of to stack the squares, I wanted to stagger them.
Oh,
Does that make sense? Like this.
Yeah.
So I've got two and then one.
Bottom row is offset by half.
Offset.
Okay, half a section.
By half a section, exactly. Over here, you can see this is how I start.
Okay.
I start with my corners.
Okay.
And I just start building these in. And I do have a tutorial that I think they're going to put on your website.
Oh, good.
So you can see.
But you started with kind of the outside shell, and then it fans in on each other.
Fans in.
Okay.
And kind of works its way in. As you get to the center, I use two seashells, like almost like they're clamshelled together. And then two more.
For middle point, and you build out.
And then I build out. And then I just start working. So what I would do is I do my corners, and then I start building out my center, and then start to fill, and then just fill in.
And you find it works. The fill.
It works really great.
Yeah.
It works really great. And you
those
just kind
are
of have
stunning.
to fuss with it. You might have a larger seashell, and then you go, oh, I need a smaller one there. So you dig through your little pile of seashells.
And if by chance we don't have a beach vacation in our rear view mirror, is this a buy?
This is a buy.
I mean, it can still be yours with
This
the
is a
price
buy.
of.
This is where most of my shells came from.
Okay.
This is just from the craft store.
Okay.
Comes in a bag, and there you go. You can just buy them.
Michelle Crowley,
That's it.
our favorite Studio 5 creative contributor for all the reasons, resourceful, efficient, and killer projects that you put out with this topic today. Thank you so much. Where
So
can people
fun.
follow along for more inspiration?
MichellesDesignLife.com and Michelle's Design Life on Instagram.
All right, we'll link you over. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
cleaning
you.
off the shelves tonight.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
supplementing a little with the pretty ones, because
Well, yeah, you kind of get, but it's fun to use the ones you just got.
That's true.
Because
That's
it's
true.
part of your trip.